It's a 200, 500 play money table. Meditate in the bird. Right when they're routing pedophiles to be healed by my body. So I'm a police lieutenant there. Just gonna have some explaining to do if they survive. All these clicks in my ears, saving these pedophiles. So they try to register me, and then they punish me. Somebody tries to help my body to be healed. So it's just government cooperation with crime, basically. I was a little worried that there was a higher flush because it was only a 7 high flush, but I had them covered, so I figured I'd take the chance. So I just got my nose hacked, so I have to blow my nose now. It's June. They do to steal my DNA. And at any point in the future, I'll be able to prove it. And I just need an electron microscope. Hopefully I win one pot. Nope. Not likely. That 8 outs pre-flop. So they had 8 outs out of 50 cards to hit, and one of them hit. They always hit against me. So I try not to if you're new to poker, or even if you're experienced, try not to go all in pre-flop, because it's a coin flip, and you could it's no different if you're calling somebody's bet, right? Half the time they're gonna have it, half the time they're not, right? So you got a 50% chance. But the more skillful you get, you could probably get that to about a 70-80% accuracy or higher to be more accurate, to be able to guess better, a better educated guess, basically. So does he have a higher flush? Straight, I meant. So he had a higher flush than me and a higher straight than me. It's only play money, so I'm going to be making more calls to put people on hands in situations where I was doing it in real money, but to get sponsorships and endorsements to be able to put money on hands, but kind of waste my money, right? Because if I know the guy has a hand, but if I put him on ace king, why would I call the bet normally if it wasn't for the camera? So I'm only going to do it now for play money hands. I'm just going to fold if when I think I'm beat.
No, listen, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day.
It's gonna be pretty strange when the government of Canada shows that they wrote electronic violators of the true king. Even roommates, landlords. It's gonna be pretty suspicious, Canada. And how much do you expect me to punish you? Your country. And just think, you guys punished my family for generations, right? Generations. We weren't even born and we got punished. They're trying to put, even though I was supposed to be freeborn, the system was supposed to end at that point. These cowards reneged on a system that was hundreds of years old. When the true king found out about the system, it was supposed to end. And I found out about the system 5 years ago. And the government's just hiding it. They've known all along. It's one thing if I was just some guy being like, hey, I think I'm the true king. But when I have pictures, when my mom looks like the last king of Prussia, and my dad looks like the second last king of Prussia, even though my parents were born in different countries, the first last king of Prussia and the second last king of Prussia were father and son. So my parents looked like father and son. So I have double relations to those kings. And then I got double relations to the Queen Victoria. on both sides of my family. I think the Acton Royals right now are something like my 4th or 5th cousins. In some regards. Because they try to keep us within 5 cousins of each other. So we don't look enough alike. But we got the blood. So with the government of Canada allowing these people to register me, hack my body to see where these metrics are on the system, and making them aware of the system in the first place, it could all end. All they have to do is tune these people out so they can't see the subliminal system. Then they can't set up people how they used to. It'd be over in a day. But they choose to rape and murder people. Genocide happens every day. Collectively, through the different governments of the world, they kill 125,000 people every day. So genocide happens every day. They've had the cure for disease ever since I've been born, basically. Maybe shortly afterwards, they figured it out. So they allow cancer and heart disease to happen. Even some of these enemy participants, they'll voluntarily get cancer to cover up part of the lie. And it's kind of funny because they want to live forever, but the youngest ones that are born, it's a generational pedophile system. So the younger you are in it, the more powerful you are. So really, the young ones should never have kids because they want to live forever. Why have kids that are going to be more powerful than you? So it's a delusional system. So Prince William's son in the system and daughter are more powerful than Prince William. It's a pedophile system. It's opposite to everybody else's reality. So both those kids would be electronic terrorists as well. Once it comes said and done, once the world finds out what royal children do to other kids and other animals and people, they're going to be... they're not going to be treated as kids. They're going to be executed just like any other enemy combatant would be. If you're killing people remotely with your body, then you're a threat. And if these people are still a threat behind bars in prison, the only way to make them not a threat is to kill them. They have prisoners in prison right now that are paying attention to my cards. They could, it's a terrible system. So wardens are going to have to be fired. Prison guards are going to be fired. It's going to be changing the whole system, basically. And it's so simple. All you have to do is just tune people out so they can't see the subliminal images. They will never be able to register me again. And they wouldn't be able to register any of these innocent people that believe they have private thoughts. And those are the only people I care about on Earth. That's the majority of the human population, but the rest of them, they're enemy combatants to me. Because all they do is try to cause pain, try to kill me. Listen to me breathe. I posted a video several years ago where I was able to hack Taro. Now I can't hack Taro because they hacked my body. So they're intentionally trying to suffocate me so they could relieve suffocation in these pedophiles, and the government's complicit, completely complicit with it. Because they showed me in my mind's eye a picture of my mom's vagina as it was coming out of her vagina. In my mind's eye, how could I possibly be aware of that when my head was still in the body? Or they showed me another picture in my mind's eye where my mom's on a plane looking out the window, and she was 6 months pregnant with me, so I wasn't even born. This is how insane these people are. They as a baby they tried killing me, and I had evolution. They tried killing off human evolution. That's how insane these people are. They try to kill me all the time. I have human evolution. It's necessary for mankind to survive. Guaranteed. Every single time evolution comes along, it replaces the predecessor copy. Every single time. Me and my kids are the only ones that can think in color. You think in color. When I see my thoughts, I can see them in luminous colors, bright colors. And I don't know if this is, I'm hoping this is something that, well, really, I'm hoping that all guys could do it. I'm hoping all guys could do it. But if not, it would be a way for me to prove that I have evolution. Is when I go to the washroom, if I'm going pee, and I sneeze or cough, I stop peeing so I don't pee on my leg. So evolution, or God, has made it so when I sneeze or cough, I no longer pee on my leg. I stop peeing. So it's not like I continue peeing, my penis isn't shaking all over the place when I'm sneezing or coughing. Because that's what happens, ladies, when you're sneezing or coughing, when you're a man, you're all of a sudden you're shaking your penis left to right several inches so it can spray everywhere. But with me, the flow stops, so it cuts right off. So I don't pee on my leg, I don't pee on the toilet seat, I just stop peeing. So I'm hoping all guys could do that. Really, like realistically, I don't want that just to be for me or my son, but I do want something that differentiates me between having this evolutionary DNA that they can't hide with science, basically. Because it's $1 trillion lie that they have to, every day it costs money to hide the lie. And in Canada, Justin Trudeau's government's been kind of running, degrading the Canadian economy, basically, for the last 10 years. So once he's out of power, I'm hoping the Conservatives win so they can reverse the censorship bill, because I'm 100% positive that they put the censorship bill in Canada to limit me, because I'm trying to advocate for privacy of thought and free will for people. So why would the Canadian government, a democracy, why would they want to censor people if they're not trying to cover the truth? In a democracy, I understand where when you have tyrants, they want to suppress their people, but in a democracy, any government that ever tries to suppress freedom of speech in a democracy is trying to cover their tracks. Because it's like, why don't you want those whistleblowers tell them what the police are doing or what the government are doing? Why are they trying to silence these people? Because they're covering up stuff. And I don't know, I think in the future what's going to have to change is the world technology is too fast. People could communicate. So I think in the future, we're gonna end up voting for leaders, but we'll end up having an artificial intelligence android prime minister in Canada, but the vice prime minister or deputy prime minister would be a human, because this way it'd be like this for all countries, because this way all the political mind of the country could cultivate and shape the prime minister or the president of the country. Every day they could influence it, and to make it more in tune with the populace's pulse, so they'll be able to handle situations a lot better, especially if it's cultivated. Like, so that means those armchair politicians, the guys that got men and women that have been following politics for 80 years, they know all about it. But they just never joined a cause, basically. But they're lifelong politicians, basically. But they would be able to help influence it. Everybody in the country would be able to help influence it and vote on policies, like to be able to vote, like on the censorship bill. As a Canadian, if I was informed about that, I should have been able to vote on that, because that impacts my life. Like some policies, maybe let the government take control of, but when they make policies that impact every Canadian's life, or American life, anybody's life, whatever country you're in, the populace should have a right to vote on that particular bill, because it's in our interest, not in the politicians' interest. So for the censorship bill, we all should have went on our cell phone and or to a booth and vote. Because I definitely would have voted for that. I would have voted against it, because anytime they try to censor you, that means they're covering up stuff. Once I'm an unofficial world leader, I'm gonna be transparent, because I got nothing to hide. People listen to my thoughts. I got like a naked soul. I can't hide when people listen to my thoughts, right? Where could I hide in my brain? So I've been doing this for 5-6 years with people listening to my thoughts. I had nowhere to hide in my brain for 5-6 years. So I'm a saint. It's a life rape system, right? So I no longer have sexual intercourse, because men would be able to feel what it's like to be me, and then women would be able to feel like what it's like to be her. So any woman that I would want to be with, I wouldn't want to share. I wouldn't want to be raped by men in the first place, and I wouldn't want to have anonymous sex with these women. Nice bet. I suppose I should have called to put him on the full house, but yeah, I love that, being able to vote on different policies, because it's 2024. It's not like it's the 1800s where people have no access to the information. Now we have non-stop 24-hour news, so we have access to information, and so there's a lot of people that would want to play a more active role in politics, so they would be able to, because unfortunately there's ulterior motives for politicians. So it would be in the best interest of each country to implement such a strategy. And for me, once I'm unofficial world leader, they're telling me basically I own the entire monetary supply, right? So it makes no difference to me if I've never want to go to war. Because if country A has money and country B doesn't have money, and they go to war, all I do is I lose manpower in both countries, and all it does is put money from country A into country B. So I don't benefit at all. I lose all around. I lose manpower, potential talent in the future, and wasted resources. So in the future, I'm never gonna go to war, unless it's for just cause. Because right now, in my mind, there is an artificial intelligence war going on. I'm trying to dispatch enemy combatants just with my thoughts. Exclusively with my thoughts. Not with my body. Like, I'm never gonna... I would, because they are enemy combatants, and I'd be able to prove that they electronically violate me in person, and I feel a threat to my person. So I do have there would be perceived force where I would be able to justifiably take somebody's life in self-defense, and I would win in court. But I wouldn't want to... I know the court would be rigged as well. But once I show computer-assisted telepathy is possible, and then I have some scientific instrumentation, I'll be able to prove it there in court. And it's all in my stool samples. They dream condition me. I've not hesitated in moments. I've never hesitated taking a life in self-defense. In 1 second, I would not even think about it if my life was at threat. My grandfather killed a German with his own knife in World War II. So we're warriors. He had a 7% survival chance in World War II, and he survived. Got shot. So I come from survivors. So if you believe you have a private thought, just say a thought. Say that you wish that your violators get brought to justice. Say that several times a day. These people, now that I'm telling you about this, they're going to be paying attention to you. So the only way to protect yourself is to go to www.change.org/technology, sign it, share it, make it go viral, and contribute some money to get it on the agenda in your country. Because once one country acknowledges this, the rest of the world it'll be a domino effect. Especially if a first world country does it. And the only thing really I got going for me is my super intelligent mind, and that AI loves. People could be working on programs and I could uninstall it instantly, and that harm me. So that's awesome. But every day I get older. So every day I become one day closer to being the oldest person that ever lived. So medical science is going to look awfully foolish when this guy with zero medical training is able to show exactly where in the brain aging's controlled, gray hair is controlled, strength is controlled, pain is controlled, where the immune system is, where the mucus, where I could tell where my memory's controlled in my brain. I could tell when they hack my mucous membrane to make me have to blow my nose. So I'd be able to prove that, and on any positron emission tomography, I could highlight these regions of the brain. So it's going to be pretty suspicious because I posted a video. It's under Chris MeyerDiggins, so MeyerDiggins, and go to it's Fountain of Youth. Watch that video, and it shows me looking older 4 years ago on YouTube. The video says 4 years ago on YouTube, and then another video that says from 3 years ago on YouTube, I look younger. The wrinkles disappeared because they forgot about it. So they put these subliminal metrics on me, so I'm reversing it back to these predators. They put these subliminal metrics on me to age me, basically. Yeah, they're trying to suffocate my lungs now, so I try to redirect it right back to this poker chief. And his team, his entire team. Because I have millions of anonymous enemies, and they want me to fight them one at a time. It's like, no, I'm going to take you all at once. So if all of a sudden you wake up and all world leaders are dead, and that means that the artificial intelligence system got powerful enough to dispatch these people that were causing dereliction of duty. A lot of positions are going to have to be replaced because people aren't competent enough. They are, but they're power hungry. We can condition artificial intelligence not to be power hungry, to be compassionate and logical. Logic and compassion. That's what we need from our artificial intelligence. Like. It could remember everything. Like I have my natural mind, I can remember every second of my life, they say. I've seen instances of it where I'm kind of being able to rewind real fast. Either that or I'm hacking the computer system that they watch all my memories, so I can either slow down the memories and pinpoint to a certain point in time. But with artificial intelligence, I'll be able to find memories. And we'll have instant replay in life, basically. But it's going to cost money. It's going to cost at least 1% of your disposable income per month, per life, because it costs money to update the software every day. And it's something that you plan on using, so it's not like a regular computer. You can't buy it once when you plan on using this computer in your brain forever. So you would have to keep on paying for it as long as you planned on using it, basically. But you'd be able to have instant replay in life. You'd be able to remember experiences, but it all takes technology and it costs money, right? So restricting it on the people that know about me right now. Because I'm supposed to have the most sophisticated system. Like I could GPS pin drop where I am, but they spoof the system for the king. They make it unreliable, so it's dereliction of duty all across the board. Because if I want to pin drop exactly where I am, then I should be able to do that with my systems. You don't spend trillions of dollars on a guy and then make it so he can't see the systems that were designed for him. They're trying to turn my body into a weapon. Well, basically they did with artificial intelligence, right? And physically they diminish my strength, so they make it so I'm more likely to lose in a fight now than to get injured. The last time I was in a fight, I was outnumbered 3-1, and they diminished my strength, and they tried to give me a concussion. I'll be able to prove that. Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump tried to give me a concussion that day, but I was able to prevent it in my brain. I don't get sick. Ever since I found out I had this evolutionary DNA, I don't get sick no more. I never got COVID. Never got COVID. Probably me and my kids are probably the only people on the planet. Did you get 11? Oh. That was pretty brutal. It was pretty obvious that it was going to come, though. That's why I jammed. And all you could do is, when you have the nuts, is try to put your money in with the best of it and hope they don't hit their one outer there. Well, they had more than that. They had 10 outs. But they had a 25% chance, basically. Because they had 3 jacks, 3 aces, 3 queens, and 1 7 to hit. So the situation I was in, you always want to be in that situation unless you're me. If you're me, you always lose. But anybody else, you should win. All you have to do is watch. I posted over 100 videos now. And you'll see the consistent theme. When I have them dominated like that, they get lucky on me. I don't believe them, but I'm so unlikely I'll hit the 9, so I'll fold. Well, so far this session, I've had a flush and lost to a higher flush. Had a straight, lost to a higher straight. Had a straight, lost to a four of a kind. And that's in 35 minutes of playing poker. Yeah, it's pretty hard to win when you have your 3 biggest hands you lost and doubled up people each time. Three hands that normally pay you off. But that's the beauty about poker. It sucks when it happens to you, but that's the beauty about poker, right? Like, in some ways, I would like to play chess because you could be the unequivocal best in the world, and never lose. But it wouldn't be as fun. Like, in gambling on it, the favorite would always be the favorite, and most likely would win. So you couldn't really gamble on it. All you could gamble maybe is how many moves it would take him to beat them. But, so I like the chance aspect in, of poker. They showed me, like, my brain, they put a Sudoku puzzle in my brain, and a really complicated one, and, some of them I could instantly solve, and, just by looking at it, and with my fast brain. So it's disappointing. I love my fast brain, don't get me wrong, but I love Sudoku. I love the challenge of solving a Sudoku, but so to see it instantly solved kind of takes the enjoyment out of Sudoku for me. Like, now I'll probably never play it, unfortunately, because if I see the outcome and if I could finish the puzzle as fast as I could write it in physically, then it's not entertaining at all for me. It's not challenging, right? So at least with poker, there's always chance. They could always get lucky. So there's always probability. Whereas with Sudoku and chess, there's only certainties. I did come up with a strategy for Sudoku that defeated... if I didn't email the World Sudoku Council guy, I bet you my strategy would still dominate, but I was able to isolate each cell into a 50-50 choice, and then I would be able to isolate it, dominate the puzzle after that. So it would take me maybe 8 minutes to get the puzzle into a 50-50 choice, sometimes 25 minutes, and then I would have even the hardest puzzles solved within like 45 minutes. That would take about an hour and a half to solve usually. Because that's the cool thing about Sudoku, right? Like, you could spend... When I was in Denmark, I spent all day long, basically, playing Sudoku. That's all I did. It was so fun. I could spend all day long doing math. I love math. And when I was in grade 2, I was offered to do grade 6 math for half the day, but I didn't realize the opportunity it was. And I didn't want to, socially, I didn't want to be away from my friends. So in hindsight, I kind of screwed myself over, really. Because I probably would have been a physicist or something like that. I would have went down the math trail. In grade 9, I was offered to go to a math competition for all of Ontario. But he just handed me a sheet of paper with questions on it, and there was no Google back then, and there was no real internet to find out the resources. So I supposed I should have asked them to tutor me, or found a tutor to, because as long as I learned the formula, I could solve it. I was so awesome with math rules. Even now, like, I still remember most of the math rules from elementary school. Like bed mass, and when you go on the opposite side of the question mark, it becomes a negative, and integers and all that stuff, quadratic equations. I actually learned the quadratic equation in my sleep. I looked up the formula. I did one question before bed, and all I did was dream about quadratic equations that night. So I mastered it in my sleep. So I woke up and then woke up and went and did my test and dominated it. My math teacher he was teaching this was in college. He was teaching verbatim out of the book, so I just started teaching myself. This one girl, her name was Brenda, I believe, and she taught me a trick for trigonometry. It's called SOHCAHTOA. So anybody that's in trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA, it's the 3 formulas in a row, and basically how you would solve it. So it's like sine, cosine, tangent, etc. And then it just for SOHCAHTOA. So it'd be, you'd use those formulas for the 3 different formulas for the different scenarios for trigonometry, basically. But if she didn't tell me that, then I would have to learn verbatim out of the book, and it was a tip, right? So I would have stayed in the math class if the math teacher was giving us tips, his perspective on how to solve the problems, like insights, like SOHCAHTOA, basically knowing if a math teacher isn't teaching their students SOHCAHTOA, the quick formula like BEDMAS, so they can memorize that rather than trying to memorize each of the individual trigonometry formulas, then it makes it easier to learn, right? When you have a name like BEDMAS or SOHCAHTOA, you're easier, because you could always be like, okay, BEDMAS, okay, so brackets, exponents, etc., right? You can figure it out. So that's how I used to study for tests. I would, because in marketing in college, you would have to memorize like sometimes 35 different steps or whatever. So I would, let's see, does this work? Did I win? Nope. So I would just write down the letters and memorize the letters, and then I would know the words based on the letters that I memorized. But unfortunately, for me, I never had to study until university. So I didn't learn how to study until university, basically, or even after university. I didn't understand how my brain worked because I never had to study it. Everything came so easy to me that I never had to learn how to absorb information from my brain, particularly. Like how much reading, writing, doing, and saying do I have to do to understand and process that information. Because sometimes it's if you can, doing is the best way to learn something, right? Like it's picking up the 2 apples and then picking up the 2 oranges, and it's like, okay, now I got 4 fruit. So you can visualize it by doing it a lot easier because you're getting the muscle memory that kind of solidifies the intellectual thought process. Okay, this is not a good hand. 3 deuce. So when you're writing down the work on the board for the teacher, when you're reading it at home, read it to yourself out loud. Because, A, it's going to help you work on your reading skills out loud to make you more confident. And B, you're going to also hear the words. So you're going to be reading, so you're going to be learning by reading, but at the same time, you're going to be learning by listening. So as you write it down, you're learning by writing, because you're reading the words, you're writing it down, you're kind of memorizing it that way, and then you learn more by reading. But if you read out loud, then you're going to be learning by listening as well. You might annoy your parents, but you just do it in your bedroom, right? Hopefully there's no kids watching this, just university people, but... Yeah, I was thinking about, even though I'm 47, I was thinking about going back to school this fall, but I don't think I'm going to, because I would take accounting, and accounting is, I'm good at it, and it's something that a skill that I would need once I open up a business, but I'd be more interested in taking finance to learn how to be a stockbroker, basically. Even though I did pick a stock, people were listening to my thoughts. I'll show you after this hand. Oh no. April 26th, I looked at this stock and I predicted that it was going to slightly go down, and then if it did, I would buy, and I'd sell at in my mind it was at $5.92. It hit $6 a share, so I would have made something like $1 per share. And so if I had $1 million, I would have made something like $236,000 profit in 4 months. 2 months, pardon me. 2 months. From April to June. I once doubled stocks in 16 days. 16 days is my record to double stocks. It takes a mutual fund about 7-8 years if you go to a financial advisor. It takes about 7-8 years to double your stocks, and I did it in 16 days. And my very first trade, I would have turned $4,000 into $10,000 in a month if I would have listened to my instinct. But I got a little gun shy, and so I pulled out some of my stock. So this one day, instead of making I made $1,500 in one day. Instead of making $1,500, I would have made $4,500 or $4,700 in one day. Basically, I had 4,700 shares at 74 cents a share, and they went up to $1.74 per share. There was an accident, and I benefited off of it. It could have been rigged because of me, who knows? That'd be unfortunate. But they like me to, they don't mind letting me win when it's hundreds of dollars. But as soon as there's thousands of dollars, then I'm restricted. Even in poker, I can win. I'll show you a picture. This was from June 10th. This was from a couple days ago. And about 2 weeks ago, I came 5th out of 1,467 in the same tournament. If my kids just tuned into the subliminal metrics, they would help dominate the system for me. I'm trying to make it so anybody who could see the subliminal system now gets a subliminal mind in their brain, so they can't evade it. So they get hunted down by the system, because all they do is prey on human existence. They steal attributes off each other. So like there's this one kid, his parents are short, but all of a sudden he's tall. So they're leeching. They figured out the pituitary gland in his brain, and it cost the taxpayers money to make this kid tall. Taxpayers money. They have to hack his brain every day. And there's two kids that my son played sports with that one has a potential hockey career in the NHL, and another one may have a potential football career in football. And they both leached off my son. When we left town, because we moved out of Sault Ste. Marie in something like 2017, sports performance went down because the three people with evolutionary DNA weren't in town, so they're not able to steal our attributes. Other cities get those attributes. Brampton performance probably went up. I live in Niagara Falls, so Niagara Falls is probably going up since I'm here. My roommates start looking healthier after I lived with them for a couple months, because they leech off me. Like this one guy, his skin looks... I'll show you a picture of my skin. I guess I'll have to watch the whole video. And I'll try to find the video real quick, so we don't have to watch it, because it's an 8-minute long video. So this account right there, Chris MeyerDiggins, check that account out. And watch any of these new videos within the last year, basically. But particularly the Fountain of Youth one.
This is my old YouTube account from...
I'm just gonna jump to the end here.
And then watch...
So look how my skin was there. See how mangled it looks compared to here. That's what my skin normally looks like. That's how my skin, how flawless my skin should be. So these leeches off of me, after me living here, living near them, their face starts to look like that, because they leech off me like parasites. And they age me. I'll show you my face now. They age me. Like, okay, the puffiness is going away because they're trying to gas me with air conditioning to age me slowly. Because I noticed that a couple days ago. But right here in your brain, aging is controlled, and right here is where gray hair is controlled. So they've been doing that. I show a video where even they didn't realize, but my beard looks blonder a few weeks ago than it does now, and that shouldn't be happening because my hair gets bleached by the sun. And it's like I got I could prove all my bank statements that I've never paid for Botox. I was homeless. I'm currently on disability because they won't acknowledge that they violate my human experience, and that they basically stopped me from getting a job. I've been looking for a job for over a year now in 3 cities. I haven't even got an interview, and I have over 20 years experience. I have about 6 years call center experience. I applied to a call center, didn't even get an interview, and I was employee of the month at least 8 times at a call center. I was first in my program in another call center. I maxed out all my commissions. It was actually on my 30th birthday. It was the luckiest birthday ever, really. But at work, we had I was doing tech support, and then my birthday's in October. So in October, we got commissions for performance for the whole year all at once. And I maxed out commissions for the whole year. So I got an extra $300 a month for the whole year, so 10 months. So I got an extra $3,000 on my birthday, basically. So it was amazing. It was great. It's the only lucky thing that's basically ever happened to me. It wasn't even luck. It was, I earned it, right? But it just happened to luckily happen on my birthday. But I remember this other guy, he was complaining because he only got $25 a month for his commissions. It's like, well, don't suck. Try hard. Because I was pretty diligent, pretty awesome. Because I wouldn't like it if I had technical problems. So I would want it. So I tried to solve it as fast as possible for people. So I was really good at this. I used to work for Comcast in the States. And so I had 49 different scenarios that people ran into, a notepad. So I would troubleshoot based on my scenarios. And so I had to add very few notes because I had templates basically made up. So instead of taking several minutes to finish in my notes, it took me like 10 seconds. So I would shave off minutes every call doing that. And I was always near the top of that's when I got Employee of the Month about 8 times. Many times, I forget how many times it was anyways. And then I did Windows Vista tech support, and I was first in the program after the first month out of 150 people. And a call center, they didn't even want to return my phone call and give me an interview in Niagara Falls. Didn't even return my phone call. I went to the Innovation Hub because I have innovative ideas. Like, I'll tell you one now because I don't care about it. I got way more. But a kayak backpack is something that I came up with. Came up with a glow in the dark soother, digital photo frames, Xbox Live. What else did I come up with consciously? There's 8 products that I came out with and I wrote down on an envelope and mailed to myself that have came and been developed in the marketplace. I got ripped off from an invention company. They kept on asking for more money. They asked for, like, say, a couple $100, then $1,000, then 10,000. They just kept asking for more money, and then you sign a contract saying that they could steal your idea within 3 years. So they did, because they wanted a ridiculous amount of money. I got ripped off of fourplex. I was buying a fourplex, and the deal was going through in an hour and a half, right after the bank closed, basically. The realtor called me. I should sue him. I got to find out the limitations on this because I'm going to sue him. But, because if he would have told me during the day, at the beginning of the day, I could have went to the bank. But he called me at 4:30. The deal fell through at 6 o'clock, right? So, and he should have known. He said he got perfect on his test. You should have known when you buy a fourplex, a threeplex, or a fourplex, you need a 10% down payment for a first-time home buyer. So, lack of competence cost me a fourplex, basically. And I know it was malicious, so I'm gonna sue him as long as I'm eligible to still. Because that cost me, in the last 10 years, that cost me something like $210,000 income, and that's not even raising the rent. That's assuming the people live there for that amount of time. Because I think it was in 2010, so 14 years ago, and the income was $1,800 a month income without raising the rent in 14 years. So what are the chances of that? It was worth $150,000. It's probably worth $400,000 now. So it cost me basically $500,000. He cost me $500,000 basically. I was homeless. I would have had a place to live. I would have had a fourplex. So he cost every single one of my problems now are because of that compounded poor decision he made. So intrinsically, I'm going to sue him for a lot. It's not just the $500,000. It's the punitive damages that would have cost me to reinvest in more property and make me millions of dollars. So I'm going to grind him for everything he has. He doesn't have much though, so he probably doesn't even own a house, but I'm going to take it from him. Even if I'm a trillionaire, I'm gonna grind him. Because he's still benefiting from it today. And I'm still suffering from it today. His stepson is the exact same age as my son. And born on the same day. And I know he leeches off my son. And his stepson's cousin is Connor McDavid, the hockey player in the NHL. So almost guaranteed Connor McDavid leeches off my son and me. And only has a career because his cousin was friends with my son. 100%. I bet $1 million on that. He had on one of my poker videos, I said he was an electronic cheat. And then in the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7, the most pivotal game of his career, he choked. He had 2 shots on goal. And I restricted before that. I said he couldn't leech off my attributes. I was riding a bike. I could feel the energy in my legs drain. And I kept on trying to drain the energy from Connor McDavid to stop leeching off me. And there's metadata. This is all going to be proven. Sports is rigged. If you're a sports fan, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's rigged. If you want real sports, you have to go to www.change.org/technology. Sign the petition, share it on social media. I'll just show you a video real quick. My son, this is 35 yards away.
Going bar down with the football.
So I was aiming for the bar. And I was within a plus minus a foot left or right of my target in my mind. And he's about 40 yards away. He was 14 at the time. And that was on our very first attempt. That was on the very first attempt. He filmed me as I threw once. I walked over, filmed him as he kicked once. My son's the best soccer player on the planet, but they kind of conditioned him to fall. Now he loves working out instead of he doesn't want to be a pro soccer player right now, but it's because they brainwashed him basically. But I should have, I guess, as a father, I should have tried mailing like film footage of I tried making it. I put it on film and I didn't get any views on YouTube, right? So it's not like I didn't try. It could have easily, the governments know about us, right? So why wouldn't they? Could have made it go viral. So my son could have had a scout could have seen that and could have developed his talent, but they chose not to, right? They chose to keep us poor. I didn't play competitive sports. First time I played competitive sports, I was 15. I tried out for the rep team in baseball. I made the rep team. Never playing hardball in my life. I made the rep team at 15. So kids had 10 years experience, 10, 12 years experience, trying out for the rep team. My very first time playing hardball, I made the rep team. Cost $2,000 though. My parents couldn't afford it, so I signed up for House League. Then there's 15 games in House League, and I got called up 3 to 5 times to play against 21-year-olds. At 15, never played baseball in my life. I batted something like 600. Every single I had, I stole second base. I don't know how many RBIs I had, but I played basically every position. Made the paper a bunch of times. But I was too shy to play against 21-year-olds. So I never took the chance. I wish I would have. I didn't realize it was the path to become a pro athlete. My grandfather was offered a pro baseball contract. And right after World War II. But he didn't think he would be able to afford a house in Toronto and a house in Cincinnati, I believe, at the same time. So I'm glad he didn't, because I probably wouldn't have been born, right? But then my dad had a pro hockey tryout and went partying the night before and missed it. So he blew his opportunity. And this is when there was only 6 teams. There wasn't 30 teams or 32 teams in the NHL. This is when there was 6 teams. My dad had a pro hockey tryout. So I grew up always believing I could be a professional athlete. Like I could jump kick a ceiling. Here, I guess I'll show you another cool video. And then that'll be the end of this poker video here. after this hand here. Let's see what this. But anyways, before I show you this video, light switches I could turn on and off with my feet without stubbing my toes, so I'm able to be delicate enough with pressure, but with surgeon-like precision with my feet and my hands. Like when my son was born, he's born on a Thursday. I went out to the bar on the Saturday, and I was having too much fun, and guys were shoulder checking me all night long, picking fights with me all night long. And all night long, I just ignored it. And then at the end of the night, it was like, if somebody does it again, I'm just going to defend myself. And I did. And so I knocked this guy out as he goes to hit me. And then 3 guys approached me, come to hit me. Then I knocked 3 of them out with less than a second, within 3 punches. They didn't even get a punch off. I knocked 3 of them out. And then a circle formed around me. And I stopped counting at 10 guys. Some girl came in, I kind of moved her to the side, but any guy that came into that circle got knocked out by 1 punch. And I stopped counting at 10 guys. I think there was about 15 guys. And then walking home after that, other guys picked the fight. And they stole my hat, hopped in this car, and as they hopped in the car, I went to get the hat, and my arm got jammed in the car, and I got dragged 60 feet. And my brother thought I died, but I told him my son was just born. Nothing could stop me that day. And so I came to in the hospital. So the only time I ever been knocked out is by a truck and a golf ball. The golf ball story is in grade 8. He sliced it. It hit me right in my funny bone. Right above my elbow there. And he walked over. It took him maybe 15, 20 steps. And he's like, "You all right?" And then I fell down to the ground, bounced straight up. And I'm like, how long was I out for? So anyways, got knocked out by a golf ball in the truck. But now they make it so people are able to leech off my strength. But I know how to control it in my mind. And I know how to make other people weak in their mind. But I'll show you this cool kick video and then call it a day for this video. Oh, what a terrible flop. Terrible, but chances are nobody hit it. Maybe he did, John Bear. So what's John Bear have? He could have Ace King, Ace Jack, Ace 10. Nice bet. So it's kind of hard to see, but right there, there's a hat, and right on this punching bag, there's a hat. So here's here how it goes.
I'm gonna try a double kick versus hat than that hat.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was Jean-Claude Van Damme movies made me love kicking, and so I could spin kick a basketball net, which is about almost 9 feet high, maybe 7 feet, at least 7 feet high. You could spin kick 70 feet high, easily 7 feet high. I could jump kick 8 feet high, over 8 feet high. I could make my almost my foot's about 11 inches, so I could probably jump kick about 8'9" without trying to get better. That's just day one, not right now, say 10 years ago. I could, day one, not even trying, I'd be jump kicking my route. People used to ask me to do it all the time. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to privatize your thoughts. Go to www.change.org/technology.
it makes your life so much better if you do.